Now on today's amazing adventure in deep dive virginity, we're going to be taking a look at Shin Lim and his performance on a shoddy little reporter. But the problem is that it's Shin Lim and I'm me. Who am I to question the great Shin Lim? Now, you could disagree with my points. You could understand that Shin Lim is infinitely more successful than I would ever be. However, in looking at this performance, there's a couple things that I disagree with and a couple things that I really do appreciate and like. So we're going to get into it. Time to prepare your butthole.
Shuffle the cards.
Oh, no.
You don't want to? It's up to you.
Okay, let me redeem myself here. Let me redeem myself.
Give it a mix as much. I just need you to just make sure that the cards are normal.
Let me redeem myself in the shuffling.
Just don't drop any cards. You drop the cards, the whole trick's over.
Did I drop a card?
I'm just kidding.
You guys. Okay.
All right. Perfect. You want to examine the cards, make sure they're fine?
They
More or
seem
less.
good
Yeah,
to me.
I'll spread through all of them for you.
Okay.
Like every single card's different, right?
Okay.
Would you say? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Let's say.
All right, cool. So I'm going to riffle down the deck like this, and then you just say stop anytime you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop.
Right there. You sure you want to stop here?
Yes.
You want to change your mind or no?
No.
No, okay. I won't look. Great.
Gosh, Shin Lim is so hot. I know I was talking about the reporter being attractive, but no, I just can't take my eyes off of Shin and his perfect hair and his bone structure. My goodness. Well, anyways, there's a couple of things to talk about here. Firstly, it's interesting that every time you offer the participant to shuffle a deck, there's this sort of hesitation because they don't handle a deck of cards quite often. And magicians kind of overlook this and oftentimes continue with having the same participant mix the deck as opposed to maybe handing the deck off to a different person. Now, in this circumstance, obviously he had no one else, but a good thing to do when you have a couple participants around you is to spread the deck and have them shuffle it. So now it makes the trick seem a lot bigger than it actually is, and you have multiple participants invested in what you're doing. Shin Lim also makes use of a riffle force in this situation in order to force the Queen of Spades. However, it's not the force that I would use in this circumstance because the riffle force, as I've mentioned on the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,500 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be, offer the low price of $5 a month, and I'm always uploading new content, so it's not like you're just getting 1,500 videos and that's it. You're getting new content every single week, baby. Something I mention on the Academy often is that a riffle force is something that should be used if the participant is a distance away from you. So that way they don't have to stand up, you riffle through the deck, and it becomes convenient for them. However, in this proximity with the participant, I would go with a force that they could actually touch a card. Of course, I remind you that in this case, it doesn't matter because it's Shin fucking Lim.
Card?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Do you remember the card? Okay,
yes.
Okay, cool. I promise I won't look though. Okay. One last time, we'll place it into the middle, right?
Uh-huh.
I would have to say, how many cards down is it? Is it like 25 cards down, would you say? Or
I would say like 40.
40? Okay, cool. There's 52 playing cards. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I would say it's about 25. Yeah. 25 cards.
Okay.
Do you mind squaring up the cards so that way it goes fully into the deck? Yeah, perfect. Yep. Perfect. Now, completely up to you. Mm-hmm. Your choice.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm not going to touch anything. Can you open up your hand like this? Great. Another hand on top. That way, no one touches anything. Top or bottom? Completely your choice.
Top.
Top. Okay. Now, for the first time, because I don't know what your card is. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me what your card is? What was it to the camera?
Queen of Spades.
Spades.
I think, yeah.
Okay, and I didn't go anywhere. Like I didn't insert my hand into the cards.
No,
I
you
didn't
did
like
not.
shift up the Queen of Spades to the top.
No.
No.
You didn't.
You pushed it. Did you push it into the middle? You felt the card go into the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you notice right now, can you see through your fingers what the top card is? Look through your fingers. Is it the Queen of Spades? Open it up, show the camera.
Simple hits hard, my friends. Brad Christian was right when he said that in his Ninja Magic video from illusionist.com. However, here you see that all he did was just a convincing control. He gets that card to the bottom, gives her a choice, it really doesn't matter, and that creates an astonishing moment because the magic took place in her hand. Now, the key to a trick like this is to make it as fair could be. In this case, he's using a control that seems like they have their eyes on the card the entire time, and she even pushes the card into the deck. He reiterates this later, reminding her that she's the one that pushed it in. Now, personally, I would drop a I don't want to touch the deck in there so that she doesn't think that I touched the cards, and I would have her pick up the deck herself and put it in her hand. Now, I could see that on this surface, it might be a little bit difficult, and you might actually leave that queen of spades on the table by accident. So it makes perfect sense for Shin Lim to pick up the deck and put it in her own hand. However, I think it would be more astonishing later on if you tell her, I don't want to touch the cards. You push it in, put it in your hand, and cover the other hand on top of it. Perfect. And then go into the revelation. My goodness, just look at that bone structure.
And there's no other queen in the entire deck, I don't think. Yeah, no, there's only one. No, you know what it is? It's sometimes, see, sleight of hand can look like the ink is like shifting, right? Like the ink is moving.
Yeah.
So if I grab a random card, this is not.
No.
This is not your queen.
That's not me.
Look, if you just watch the ink of the spade.
Okay.
And you see, no,
You know what?
No, watch the queen, the ink of the queen, I can actually take it. Apologize for the audio, no, the ink vanishes. It reappears, but when ink reappears, you know what happens with the ink? It becomes a tattoo. It's really strange. You could have picked any card.
Now, personally, I would have ended it right there, because what could you do to top a tattoo, a card vanishing and turning into a tattoo, something that's permanently on your body? Nothing, unless the tattoo changes into a different card, but nothing is going to top that. So that's where I disagree with this performance, because Shin Lim goes into a rapid fire sequence here at the end of this particular trick or the set. And for me, I just feel like that's overkill. The tattoo would have been a thing she remembers anyways, and there's no reason to continue further past such a strong revelation.
No, but okay, look, we'll take time, okay? Watch the 8 of spades.
Wait a minute.
I can take the 8 of spades,
Okay,
and then
hold
I
on.
can morph the ink back together, back to the queen of spades. But watch one more time. I'll do it one last time, okay? Look, very, very fair. This is the problem, that I wasn't being extremely fair. You know why?
Why?
Okay, I'll show you. Okay, I'll push the queen into the middle. Last thing I didn't do, I didn't roll my sleeves up, so I do apologize. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it can teleport too, which is weird, but that's your card. And you can check the entire deck. There's no other queen inside the deck of cards. But that's sleight of hand. It's not magic. It's just
That's not magic?
no, that's not magic.
That's not magic.
It's sleight of hand. Yeah.
I remind you that it's Shin Lim and he could do whatever the fuck he wants. However, here in this case, again, as I mentioned before, I do think that it's slight overkill to have the card in mouth. Now, there are some nefarious cuts here or there to cover the actual action of the Mercury card fold that he needs in order to sneak that card into his mouth. However, it's still a fun performance and a great impromptu set. One of my favorite things to look at is magicians when they're in a circumstance like this. Not necessarily when they have a prepared act, but when they're handed something like a deck of cards and told, hey, do something for this reporter on camera that we could use to hype your show. Or for example, David Blaine, you see him maybe on a cell phone camera footage of him doing tricks, because you get to see what they do in that circumstance, in that situation, which is where we're going to find ourselves to be most of the time. We're not going to be on stage in a clinically controlled situation. We're going to be in an office. We're going to be in a restaurant. We're going to be, I don't know, at somebody's house. And what is it that you could get from a performance like this that maybe you could use yourself for a little tips and touches? And that's what I love seeing in other magicians' performances. So maybe you could take little tidbits here or there. You could use that bit in the beginning with the Queen of Spades going onto the bottom. God forbid you get a playing card tattoo. My goodness, the thought alone makes me want to punch the nearest cutest puppy. But you could certainly learn a lot from watching magicians perform in circumstances like this. Me personally, I learned that Shin Lim is daddy.
I see you again, when I see you again, when I see